Alright everyone, this is Fernando here for the Ghosts and Spirits YouTube channel. I have a very nice exclusive for everyone here, all you fans that have been both on my channel here on the Ghosts and Spirits side and then elsewhere, and that has to do with this. I have a very nice interview one more time with Jerry Ray from the ghost group SPCTRE. He's been someone that I've been with in that group now for a good while, at least over a year, maybe even 2 years or so. And Jerry has been kind enough to do in the past an interview for me while we were on a ghost hunt. And that was a great interview. I'll include the link for it below if you haven't had a chance to hear it. But in this case, now we finally have the opportunity to do an interview, more of a relaxed one. Because last time we did it just on the field, it might have been a little bit more rushed when it came to it because of the fact that we were a little bit on a time crunch. But now we're able to interview Jerry Ray, not just about some questions related to the ghost experiences and ghost hunting, but also some stuff related from him, like when it comes to his own, let's say, advice that he can give on these ghost hunts. So I'd like to introduce everyone here to Jerry Ray. Again, he is from the ghost group SPCTRE. Welcome, Jerry Ray. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. How you doing, Fernando?
Doing awesome. Thank you so much. Jerry Ray, how long has it been now? Has it been like 2 years or so, right, since I've been in your group, SPCTRE?
Yeah, it's actually going on 3. It'll be going on 3 right after October, actually.
3 years?
3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's only a couple months away. That'll be great. For those, for my fans out there, I'll just mention real quick. I got to know Jerry Ray and his group SPCTRE from a visit that I did over at Gonzales, Texas. They have the haunted jail / museum that's there, and I was there just as a regular tour, like a regular daytime tour, and one of the nice volunteers there was able to show me information about your group and about an upcoming, at that time, ghost hunt that was going to happen at night. And so that's when I showed up and I was able to be introduced to your group. And then one thing led to another, and eventually I think it was like a second time that I was there, and then maybe even a third that I was there for that same ghost hunt there at the Gonzales Prison Museum. And we were able to then get more together when it comes to this type of ghost hunts, and then that's when I was brought on board. So that was really awesome. Thank you again for that, Jerry. Much appreciated. So.
No, you're very welcome. It's been one hell of a ride, hasn't it? We've done quite a bit. We've done a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. If you haven't seen that evidence, guys, I highly recommend it too. I've posted so many videos of our ghost hunts together ever since I've been in the group, and it's both live stream and then also videos showcasing photographs and then also EVP sessions. So if you have a chance, just look on my videos, guys, and then you'll see all the information from before. And we have plans on doing more investigations soon. We were just talking about that a minute ago, right before this interview. I can't reveal where we're going to exactly yet, but at least for all you fans out there that love those videos and love those live streams, we definitely have plans coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. Absolutely.
We may even have to invite a couple of your fans to see if they want to join us on one of our hunts one of these days.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there are some people here that have said that on my channel that they're there in Austin, in San Antonio, where else? I think it was someone in Seguin that had mentioned it one time. So yeah, we definitely have those opportunities. Very nice.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up, and it would be nice to just to do something different with some of your fans, and just to see what they think about it, and see how they would react in a real ghost tour, or an actual investigation, where we actually set up equipment and just get down to good ghost hunting.
Excellent. Very nice. Thank you. Now I have some questions for you, Jerry Ray. Some questions that I came up with, and that way we'll be able to pick your brain, see what you can give when it comes to the answers, some advice associated with this. But yeah, because we have a lot of fans here on this channel that are ghost hunters, wanting to ghost hunt, or they've been actually for the longest time, and so a lot of this stuff is going to be good stuff for them. So first question, first one, we'll just start off right off the bat, Jerry Ray. What would you say first got you into ghost hunting specifically? Like, what was that one trigger that suddenly made you want to ghost hunt, if you had to think of one?
Well, I mean, actually, for me, it started when I was a kid. I was about, already 11, 12 years old. My dad and mom had bought a house out in the country. Sounds like a movie, right? But they had bought a house out in the country. Actually, it was a rental house that my dad found out there, and he got it for a steal. The rent was like back in the day was like real cheap, but it was a 5-bedroom house and out in the country, and my room was at the very end of the house, and and it was totally away from everybody. It was only me. I was the only child. So it was a big house, a very roomy house, and things started happening a few months after we moved in there that I would hear someone running up and down the hallway into the kitchen, and I would get it would wake me up, and I would tell my dad. My dad was like, yeah, quit watching those movies.
Oh yeah.
Not watching any movies. There's something going on. So, and as I got older, I was always fascinated and kind of, I was mystified. I wanted to know what the heck it was that was doing that, and there was other occurrences that took place that some of them were kind of frightening, while others were kind of they kind of stick with you as a kid, and it just kind of messes with you a little bit, even as an adult. So that's why I got into it, because I wanted to find out what the heck was that? Who was that was doing that? It wasn't. I come to find out later on that it wasn't demonic. It was an actual person.
Oh,
He
okay.
owned the house there, but he was a real mean individual, and we weren't the only family that was there. Now, my parents never had any experiences at all, except, they did have one where they were in the kitchen at nighttime, and they were sitting there talking. And back in those days, we didn't have any air conditioning, so the windows were all open. And mom and dad were sitting there talking, and those screens out in the country, you got when you have the kitchen light on, the screens you can't really see outside, with those type of old screens in those days. And suddenly, my dad said he saw a silhouette, a shadow right there of a man. And he went and grabbed his pistol and ran outside. And we lived, there was cornfields all around us. And he said he didn't hear nothing, nobody running. And he was shouting with his, we had his gun in his hand, said, I'll shoot you, get away from the house. And
Oh wow.
he said he didn't hear nothing. Like you would have heard someone running through the cornfield if someone was there.
Yep.
So he never really, he kind of took that, to this grave with him. And I asked him when he was sick, I was like, what do you think that was? He's like, I really don't want to talk about that, son. He said, I don't know what that was, but, that was about the only occurrence that they had. Of course, I had others, so.
Wow.
That's why I got into it. It's for that, curiosity. I
Awesome.
wanted to know more.
You kind of already answered my next question about your first ghost experience, so that was very nice. Like it.
I'm sorry.
No worries. No, that's good. It merged everything together into one place, and no doubt it looks like like ever since then you just had to seek those answers. So that was a great way of explaining it, and then finding out, like you said, finding out what it could have been. That's even better too when it comes to that. The next question. Next question I have then is this: out of all your ghost experiences, what would you say is the scariest one you've ever encountered?
The scariest one took place in La Bahia, in Goliad, Texas. It was 1991. It was 1991. I remember that because they had done a huge story in Victoria. It was around October. And anyways, they had done a huge story of occurrences that had taken place around South Texas. One of the places that was mentioned was Mission La Bahia and Goliad, and it was nearby, so I decided to go and explore on my own.
Okay.
Me and my wife went over there and decided to go. It was like on a Sunday, and they closed early on a Sunday. And we went up there, and I didn't say anything to anyone. I just went up there. I didn't have any equipment at that time. I was just asking questions, softly asking questions to see if I could hear any type of voices or get any type of signs or that anyone was there. And well, me and my wife, we went into the church, and we're walking around there. We look up to the front of the church. The front of the church, you see that beautiful painting that's there. To the left, you see where the priest goes in and out of that door, and so we sat down and we started talking, and I was like, if anyone is here, because there was no one there in the church. There was actually no one around us, so I started asking if anyone is here, can you please, make a noise or something? And,
Yeah.
well, nothing was taking place, nothing. So my wife goes, we need to get out of here. She says, this is a church, and maybe it's wrong that we're doing this inside the church. And I was like, well, maybe you're right. And as soon as she said that, the whole church, all you heard was like, ah. And I looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and all of a sudden you heard, bam!
Wow.
And she had this look on her face of complete fright. And she's looking over my shoulder towards the door where the priest goes in and out. And she said that door just opened and it closed. I saw it, and I cannot stay in here. And she was crying, and she walked outside backwards slowly. And I said, I have to stay in here. I need to know what's going on. And she walked out, and I sat down, and this feeling of like I'm surrounded almost to the point of being suffocated, that was the feeling that I had, and I had to get up, and I had to get out of there.
Oh, wow.
And as I walked out of there, I said, please forgive me. I meant no disrespect. Please forgive me. And that was about the scariest thing that ever happened to me.
That church?
Of course, after that, yes, inside the church, there at La Bahia.
Yeah, that's...
Of course, after that, I was hooked.
Yeah, guys, I know exactly the church he's talking about, because that's the one that we've been on at least twice, 2 hunts now, and that church is no joke. Like on our hunts, we've never been able to go inside, but it's fantastic to hear about an experience that you had inside the actual church itself, and that sounded very scary. Absolutely, something, in other words, they didn't want you in there and wanted to make it known. So,
Exactly.
Wow.
Sitting here talking to you about it, I've gotten chills on my arms, because exactly, there's always talk about the friar who lived there, which is like an old friar. I forgot his name, but it's archived in Google. If you Google it, you'll see it, and you can read about it. And the other priests that lived there, they were very protective. They didn't want no one disrespecting the place.
Gotcha.
It's a place to worship. It's a place to people congregate to pray, to meet, to talk about God, not to sit there and disrespect. And that's going to happen sometimes in places where they don't want you. They don't want you. They're not going to let you know.
Next question I have, Jerry Ray, then is, Out of everything you've ever seen or captured on your ghost hunts, what would you say is the
Sure.
best ghost evidence that you've had? Captured, in other words. Best ghost evidence.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. But I'm going to have to say that the best stuff that we ever had, you were there. And we were in Yoakum at the hospital,
Yeah.
in the second floor with the little kids and Nancy getting attacked. And as you recall, everything was working. The REM pod, they were communicating to us through the REM pod. They were running up and down the hall, and our sensor lights were going off like in perfect view. Like someone, every time someone walked by it, it would turn on, as you recall.
Yes.
And I would have to say that's the best, because you could feel those kids there playing with all of our stuff.
Yeah. Very true.
And then when that person, I forgot his name. I think you remember his name.
Was it Edwin, Edgar, something like that?
Edwin or something like that. And he wanted all the children away from everybody. He controlled them, as you recall.
Yes.
We'll come to find out that he wasn't the one who was controlling the children. He didn't want to play around, and I think that was the best evidence that we caught, because everything is on video. It wasn't like that the second time, as you recall, after the witches went over there. It wasn't the same. It was something more sinister was there. I was exhausted when we got home to that second time, as you recall.
Yeah. That would rank to me as one of the more scarier experiences I've had when we went that second time, and that ghost, whoever that was, that Edward, just kept staring at us, basically, like from a corner, like always just intimidating us. So I know exactly that area you're talking about.
Yes, and always attacking Nancy. I mean, hardcore attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Jerry Ray, I'll be posting pictures alongside our phone call here, so that way my fans can see exactly where discussing stuff has taken place at. So that way it'll give them a good idea, essentially, of like where that stuff is. The areas that you're describing and I'm describing, that'll give them a visual example of it, essentially.
Good. I follow that.
Next question I have here is, once again, on ghost hunts. What do you look for when it comes to a ghost hunt? Like, what's the one thing that you want whenever a ghost hunt is about to begin?
What do I want? First of all, I want everybody to be careful before we even begin. I want everybody to be safe, to be, just be alert, because it's a place that we've never been to before, and you're unaware. You turn off all the lights, and so sometimes you bump into things, So that is one of the first things that, of course, that I look for, is tell everyone is to be safe. Second thing that I do is, we start investigating. We look for hot spots. And
Okay.
we go to those hot spots, and sometimes I'll send 2 people or 3 people. You guys go out and do that. I kind of like to stay behind sometimes to kind of like guard you guys. I don't know if that. I know that. How can I put it in a?
To watch over us?
I'm very
or?
protective.
Yeah.
I'm very protective of my team. We go to different places sometimes to where, like the experience we had in Yorktown, as you recall.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best experience that we had, and we certainly wouldn't want something like that to ever happen again, to where, our investigation is disrupted by a bunch of, individuals that aren't supposed to be in that area in the first place. So I've become more protective for you guys, and that's the one thing that it's what I do. I want to make sure that you guys are safe, and as long as I know that everyone is safe, then we can conduct an amazing investigation.
What about? Evidence-wise, anything you look for specifically on a ghost hunt?
Well, we like to do some investigating before we even get there sometimes, you know. We want to confirm the validity of certain things that take place. You know, if a witness that we talk to says, you know, in this room, specifically in this room right here, this or this will take place. Or if you do this, that'll take place. So we kind of, we go with that and see what happens. And you know, as you've been there, you know, things have happened, especially with our sensor lights, you know.
Yeah.
Case in point, when we were over there at when we went to, oh my gosh, what was the name of that place? There on the other side of Goliad, it's on the tip of my tongue. We just recently did it.
Are you talking about that park?
No, not the park.
Oh.
The mansion.
Oh, Berkeley Mansion. Yeah.
Yes, we did the Berkeley Mansion. You remember that room we were in? But that sensor light is like someone was over there by you. They kept going over there by you.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Right by the corner in the room beside us. Yeah, that one.
They kept, you know, we set up so much equipment over there, but it's like they were following you. And it happened not only in that bedroom, it also happened in the hallway, as you recall.
That's true.
So, you know, but that's what I look for. I look for what witnesses say, and then I tested that theory so we can either try to confirm its validity or debunk it.
Gotcha. Good. Very nice. And then the final ghost hunting question that I have, at least for yourself as a ghost hunter and then for Spectre, if you had to recommend something for any new ghost hunter, because there are a lot of people, again, on my YouTube site that want to ghost hunt on their own and they're brand new to it, what would it be? What would be a good recommendation for them?
Recommendation is to research before you go anywhere. I don't care if they tell you that it's the safest place to go to, that you don't have to worry about it. Research for yourself. Find out all the information that you can. If you can talk to individuals and go to that place beforehand, even better. That way you're more in tone with the place once you actually get there to conduct an investigation. You know, now you've got a little bit of a history about the place, things that have taken place there as well. Those are the kind of things that you need to do as a ghost hunter, especially when you're starting out. And by all means, turn off your doggone phone, because that will disrupt your equipment, especially for those of you who are going to be doing it for the first time. Your cell phones will disrupt any type of equipment that you have, especially a KT meter. They love KT meters.
Very true.
So,
but that's what we always tell everyone there, to put it on airplane mode or something, right? Because you don't want that disruption on there.
Exactly. But like I said, the one thing that I always say is to research any place that you go to. If you have a bad feeling about it, stay away from it. Use your own judgment. You know, use the senses that you have. Say a prayer before you go to this place. And afterwards, by all means, after you leave, if you have a team or if it's by yourself, say a prayer for you and your team and tell whomever or whatever is there that they're not allowed to go with you. They need to stay there. They don't belong anywhere else but there.
Very true.
They're not allowed to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what...
But if
oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you can definitely, if anyone has any questions and they want to ask me directly, just, you know, you have my email. Just you can put my email out there if you wish to.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And please feel, if any of the fans that are out there, you know, you guys want to email me or something, just please do so. But, you know, let me know that you're emailing me from that you're one of Fernando's fans, and we'll go from there afterwards.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to co-sign also what Jerry Ray just said, everyone, about if you're brand new to ghost hunting, when you're leaving that place, command anything that's there not to follow you home. Command it. Like, do it in a stern manner, not necessarily like
Right.
angry like, but let it be known in a way that you're not going to take anything other than no, like when it comes to them following you. So if you do that, then you should be fine. Then there won't be anything bad happening afterward, as long as you command it sternly enough. So that's good. And then just wanted to mention, I have some quick, fun questions now, just for yourself, and that way it'll be a nice way to explore just more about yourself, Jerry Ray. Out of all the ghost shows out there, what would you say is your favorite one? Favorite ghost show?
Oh, I like Ghost Nation now.
Ghost Nation, yeah.
I like Ghost Nation now. I think it's close to, and also Ghost Hunters as well on A&E. Those two shows, I still like those two shows.
Awesome. And then what would you say, out of all the locations that you've been to, that you've explored, favorite ghost location?
I've got to say it's Bahia.
Yeah, the place that never quits giving, right? When it comes to, yeah.
It never disappoints at all. But always know that if you ever go over there and something happens, don't freak out on it. And don't take a big group of people either. It doesn't work that way. I would say a group of 2 to a group of 5. 5 is almost pushing it.
Yeah.
But I think with 5 people, it's enough that everybody can, go off on their own, or some things will happen because it's happened with us. The best number of people that we have, where we had the most, oh my gosh, it was incredible. We had 3 people there, and we had collected all of the evidence that we needed by midnight. Now that says a lot.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's tons of evidence to collect, but it's like going fishing. Well, once you caught your limit, you need to go home already. You're not doing yourself any good there anymore.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to go back, and I hope we do go back.
And then, is there any one location you still have on a bucket list that you've always wanted to visit?
Yes, of course. I want to do the Stanley Hotel.
Ah, the infamous Stanley Hotel, the Shining Hotel, right?
Yes, that's my bucket list. Just due to the fact of so many things that have occurred there, and I just want to see for myself. I want to experience it for myself. I want to get lost in the maze. There's just all kinds of things that I want to do there. Second place, of course, is in Seguin at the hotel.
Oh, the Haunted Magnolia Hotel? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the other.
that's a good place. I've been there already, Jerry, as you know, and it was really nice to do there. We'll definitely do that one soon. That one's gonna be good.
Absolutely, we will do that. Absolutely.
My bucket list, the one that I have number 1 is the Waverly Hills Sanitarium. That one there,
Oh, yeah.
spending the night, like doing the ultimate package as far as spending the entire night not locked up, but isolated in one of those floors. That's supposed to be
Yeah.
like guaranteed you'll have experiences, some of the best experiences ever. So that's a good place too.
I think that's an optional one. We could actually look into and possibly plan out at some point. Of course, after God help us with all this COVID stuff that's going on. Hopefully, it'll be over with sometime soon.
Agreed. And then the last question that I have, Jerry Ray, on the opposite side any location you would ignore. Like if someone said, hey, let's go to this location, and you'll say, no, absolutely not. Anything that comes to mind on that?
Cemeteries.
No cemeteries? Okay.
I know people like cemeteries, and then uh, like I said, after the experience that I had within the church of, at La Bahia, I feel that going to a cemetery, you're disturbing those that are resting there. I personally, I wouldn't want. I don't do cemeteries. That's just for that reason. I feel that I'm bothering and disrespecting, and I don't want that. I feel that you could anger one of those spirits, and they could actually follow you home, and you're going to have an experience that I don't know how you're going to get rid of. I mean, that falls to a whole other category of how do you get rid of something that follows you home. You know, I mean, people have. I mean, we talk to different groups. You know, it's like I tell you guys all the time that there's something demonic. God. Hopefully that never happens. But if we were to come across something demonic, we're leaving. We're not gonna play with that. But I would call like the last time, because I get letters, so many letters sometimes. I used to get letters all the time. People wanting that they have, this demonic presence in their home. Well, I refer them to another group that I've talked to. And sometimes that group is like, well, we never got any information. And so there's a lot of crackpots out there, too. They just want attention and seeing, what they can get out of you, I guess.
Yeah. It's a dangerous world, yeah. Especially, so cemeteries, it's good to pay respects, but not to ghost hunt. Is that pretty much it? Like when it comes to that stuff, it's good.
Exactly. That's just my personal opinion, because I know people love to go to cemeteries, and walk through a cemetery. We've done it before. We did it one time, and I couldn't do it no more. I sat back and I waited till our guests got done because, like I said, how I felt. But the guests had a great time, and we did capture some amazing photographs. I do remember that night, and that happened in Gonzales too. And so that's when we were just basically starting out so many years ago. I still use the same digital camera sometimes.
Oh yeah. No worries.
Absolutely.
If it's producing great results and it's comfortable, sure, right? Why change it? Agreed.
Exactly. If it ain't broken, people want to go and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on ghost equipment.
Awesome.
People don't realize how good you can do with just a piece of string and tie some aluminum foil at the end of it and just hang it. Hang it from like hang it from a cabinet, hang it from somewhere, and do the same thing. Hey, can you please move that? Well, it's got free to move wherever it wants to move, and so I mean it actually works. You'd be surprised what works.
Yeah. All right, Jerry Ray. Well, thank you so much. Any last things? Anything else you want to mention to my fans out there regarding yourself or regarding ghost hunts? Anything at all?
Well, like I said, if you're fans, any of the fans out there, you guys are going to go ghost hunting or whatever, just be smart. Play it smart. Stay alert. Research. Do the research thing. Do the Nancy Drew thing. And get the information that you need so that your investigation will be the best that it can be. And that's the best advice I can give any ghost hunter.
Awesome. And by the way, Jerry, I'm going to put links below for the SPCTRE site there on Facebook. So that way, if anyone wants to go see our work, you'll be able to see it there, and you'll see it more coming up later in the year once we start doing our ghost hunts. But thank you so much, Jerry, again, for your time, for this interview, for your answers. And again, looking forward to seeing you soon once we start our ghost hunts, buddy. So thanks again
Absolutely.
for